iOS 8.4.1. Okay, cool, but what does that mean? Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well, and this first-gen iPhone is certainly not getting iOS 8.4, but the iPhones that you guys are using probably will from the 4S and up. We'll get that update without a problem. So what do those numbers mean? Well, I want you to keep in mind through this video that I'm going to mainly focus on iOS. I'll touch on Android a little bit, but this numbering system is pretty much standard across the board. Any company that puts out any kind of software is going to use this. So from iOS to Mac OS 10 to Windows to Android, they all use it. But I'm just going to talk about iOS for simplicity. And it would be redundant if I talk about iOS and then BlackBerry and then Windows and then Android and then Palm and just crap that doesn't need to be said. So I'll just talk about one. It's pretty standard across the board, so that's what this is. So what does it mean when you see 8.4.1 on the software update? Well, the 1.0 version is what I call it. Other people might call it that too, but it's that first number, which is the 8, and that tells you what version of iOS it's upgrading on top of. So every year Apple releases a new version of iOS, 7, 8, 9. Yes, it did. That's why 7's afraid of it. You know, 7 really should go to like a psychologist or something, because it's kind of irrational to be afraid of a number all your life. Oh wait, 6 is afraid. 6 is afraid of 7. So 7's a serial killer and 6 is the scaredy cat. Well, 6 should go to a therapist. God. And this number, the 8 or the 9, whatever it happens to be, is the major release. So you'll hear Apple announced iOS 9, which is what's going on right now. iOS 9 is in its testing phases before it gets released in the fall. That's what it is. It's the big one that everyone cares about, where they do an overhaul. They'll change the way some things look sometimes. They'll change functions of things. For example, you saw in iOS 9, they changed the look of Siri. They now have a new music app, which I will be covering in a video soon. They have just stuff that looks different. And then iOS 7 completely overhauled the operating system and made it look like SpongeBob's phone. So it's all great for everyone. Then you have the 0.1 update, which is the second number, so where you see like 8.4. So what does that mean? Well, the 0.1 update is a minor update, but it's not totally like nobody should care. So when you see, if you have 8.3.5 or something, and you see an update for 8.4, what that means is it just changed something. So that could be a big bug fix. That could be a big security patch. That could be changing the way something looks. That could be fixing a bug in which when somebody sends you a certain 2 words and then a bunch of Arabic text, it'll restart your phone. It could be something major like that affected a lot of people. That's what they use 0.1 updates for. So that's why 8.4 fixed the effective power, because that's a big bug, and people cared about that. Although it was funny to do to people, especially when I got iOS 9 beta, it didn't work for me anymore. So then I got to do it to people and we couldn't do it back. But that's what a 0.1 update is. Then you have a 0.0.1 update, which is that last number on the end. So you'd have like 8.4.1. That is like a minor, like very minor fix. So that could be a small bug fix. That could be an app wasn't working quite properly. But if it was working like really wrong, it would be a 0.1 upgrade. But if it was just a little thing that, like it crashed on the iPhone 4S, for example, like let's say Compass crashed on the iPhone 4S whenever you opened it. Well, that would be a 0.1 update that would fix that. A 0.0.1 update that would fix that issue. But if something like phone were crashing on the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, then it would be a 0.1 update. So that's what you'd see, like an 8.5 if that happened. But it's not happening, but that's just what they would probably do in my experience. And so that last number is always going to be your minor things. Nothing has ever changed the look. I've never seen a 0.0.1 update change the look of anything. That's always a 0.1 update that changes the visual appearance of something, but that's how it works. So let's recap. The first number is the major release. So it's the version of iOS that it's a part of. The second number is major fixes or maybe changing the look of something, and then the last number is little minor fixes, tiny little tweaks that don't necessarily affect everybody, but they need to get it fixed. So for example, if there was something specific on a certain phone that something was happening, that would be a 0.0.1 update. So Android does it very similar, but there's a little bit of a difference because they have the dessert names too, and the dessert names don't always change with a new software update. So you'll hear all the time Android 5.2 Marshmallow, or whatever M is going to be, or Mocha. And then you hear 5.1 Lollipop and 5.0 Lollipop. So what are these things? Well, the big number is the huge release. So if it goes from 5.0, from 5 point something to 6.0, that's a huge upgrade, just like on iOS. If it goes from 8 to 9, that's the big upgrade, where there's a lot changed, whether it's under the hood or that you can see, a lot has changed. They'll change the dessert name always when that happens, but not always when a 0.1 upgrade goes out, because those 0.1 upgrades are usually big, but they're not always big enough to be, wow, look what we've done. For example, 4.1, 2, and 3 were all Jelly Bean, but there was enough to change for them to be like, ooh, look at the new version of Android, you better check it out. Same with 5.0 to 5.1, they're both Lollipop. Not a whole lot changed, but there's enough for them to go, ooh, look at the new version of Android, you better check it out. Now that 5.2 is coming out, they've changed it because there's quite a lot that's going to happen with the new version. Then the last number, just like iOS, is a minor update that security patches and things like that. So anyway guys, I hope that clears it up. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. If you want to check out my second channel for daily vlogs, you can check the link down below. And don't forget to subscribe and click that like button if you like this video. If you don't like it, tell me why you didn't in the comment section. I'll see if I can fix that for you. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. And this first generation iPhone is certainly not getting iOS 8.4.1, but man, I like punched the couch. There's another couch right here. I like punched the arm.